I gobble gobble. It is the middle of March, headed towards April. April the 12th is opening day of turkey season here for us, here in North Carolina. And I figure now's a good time to try to start giving you guys some tips for turkey hunting. I am no expert. I've killed a bunch of turkeys, but it took me many years before I even killed my first one. So if you're in the same boat that I am, or that I was in, I didn't have anybody to teach me, so it was kind of self-taught. So this is going to be part one to this turkey hunting tips 101. So the first tip I would say is, right now, this time of year, do not start turkey calling. Like going out trying to find turkeys. Don't go out there in the field and start yelping and all of that, trying to get a turkey to gobble. What you're going to do is cause them to get call shy. Let's get you a locator call, like an owl call, a owl hooter, a crow call, something like that. And even if you don't get real good at it, just owl hoot and crow call, and they will shot gobble in response. So let's fast forward to opening day of turkey season. You know where there's turkey, you found sign, and you think you have a good idea of a section of woods that these turkeys are going to be in. What you want to do is take that locator call, like an owl call, that time of day, hoot really loud just to get a response. You're going to find out where they're at, the direction that you need to go. You're just trying to peg a location of which you need to head. They've shot gobbled. You know the direction that they're in. What are you going to do now? You know the direction they're in. Start in that general area. What you want to do is, as you get closer, hit them with another owl hoot, and again, know where they're at. All you're doing is trying to keep a bearing on where you need to go. Don't get too close. Do not yelp to them, and I'm going to explain to you why. If you start yelping and cutting the distance to him, that bird's going to stay right there, and he's going to let you come to him. Once you get, and I'm going to say 100 yards from that bird, fly down would be just about perfect. You can get within 100 yards where he's roosted, then start calling to the turkey with your turkey call as it gets lighter. When he gobbles, he knows where you're at. It's time to shut up. Don't overcall. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people make. They overcall. It gets good to them. I've been there. You want to hear them gobble, gobble, gobble. You keep them fired up. All right. It's important to learn between now and then. If you haven't already learn what each call means. Learn assembly calls. Learn your yelps. Learn your purrs. Learn your clucks. Learn a putt, because if you hear a putt, you've been busted more than likely. He's seen something, or he or she has seen something that they don't like, and you need to know that sound. You need to know the difference between a putt and a cluck, and you need to be able to cluck with that mouth call, purr with that mouth call. It's day 2. I'm still at it, trying to get some steps in this afternoon, but I figured I would continue the turkey calling tips, turkey hunting tips. When we talked about learning the mouth calls and things like that, when to use them, that's extremely important. I'm going to tell you one call that I use a lot. To anybody that has gone with me has seen that I use this call a lot. It's a purr, and I don't think that it's used enough. Even aggressive purring is what I like to use. Especially as the season really starts going in. A lot of times these hens will keep a tom away from you if they're henned up and things like that. What I have seen is a lot of times that hen, if she hears another hen calling, she will lead that tom in the opposite direction. So I get aggressive with the purrs, and a lot of times that's going to bring those hens looking in addition to the tom looking. So if you go back and watch the video from last year of me and Tyler hunting and the turkey that he ended up getting, I aggressively purred to that bird, probably harder than any turkey I've ever called to. We had to resist the urge to go to him. That bird stayed hung up 200, 300 yards across the field, kept going into the woods, but I kept him enticed by purring, doing some light yelping, but mostly aggressive purrs. He finally got to the point he couldn't stand it. He was a lone bird, no hens with him, and he came looking. I've also at the same time had hens walk right by us at 5 steps. They were coming in looking for a fight. So yes, you see the videos of Toms up there fighting and, you know, jumping on each other, and you see them jumping on the decoys. Hens are like old women in the bars. They like to fight too. When that Tom is on the ground and he's coming to you, like, don't try to get away with a lot of movement. Don't try to get up and relocate. At that point in time, you're committed. Stay still. Go ahead and make sure everything's good, that you got a good clear shot, and just wait. Resist the urge to call at that point, unless it's just some real light purring and yelping very lightly. If he's cutting you off, he's coming. If he gobbles while you're calling, he's coming. Get ready. Okay, and this is where it is so important not to overcall. When he's coming, shut up. At that point in time, just shut up. It's gonna be hard because it gets your heart racing to hear him gobble back at you. And again, I've been there, but I'm telling you, the best thing in the world that you can do at that point in time is take your hand or take a stick. If you're sitting down around a bunch of dried up dead leaves, just start lightly scratching. Do not call. Just start lightly scratching in the leaves. Sounds like a hen feeding and ignoring that Tom. Now I try to do it as how men would understand it. Men can't stand to be ignored. Neither does a Tom. If you're continuing about your business and you're feeding and you're not paying him 2 cents, he's gonna get pissed off. He's gonna get frustrated. And he's gonna come look at you and find out what your problem is. I love scratching the leaves as much as I like to call. It works. Okay, here's another tip. Carry 2 different calls, 3 different calls, multiple calls. I can still yelp. I like to purr on a glass, like an acrylic or a slate, pot call. So if I'm calling with that, I'll put a mouth call in sometimes too, and I'll call a couple of different times. That way it sounds like it's more than one turkey. And sometimes one call they're just not interested in, or they may be interested, they might gobble, they may hang up, but then you do another call that sounds completely different on a whole different frequency, and that just sets them over the edge, and they got to gobble, they got to respond, they got to come look at you. So have multiple calls, even multiple pot calls, box calls. Here's a tip if you're using decoys. Now, I personally I've never liked using decoys. I've had turkeys hang up. I've had Toms hang up within 60, 70 yards of me and just hang up and get nervous, no matter how realistic the decoys look. And I was taught by an old timer that hunting without decoys it'll make you a better hunter. And I tend to agree with that. But if you use them, don't put them too far out, don't put them too close. I like to be 25 to 30 yards out if I'm going to use them. And don't put them dead straight out in front of you. So just don't put them dead center of you, because those turkeys, they run the risk of seeing you a lot easier if they're straight out in front of you. So even if you got to offset and turn a little bit, those turkeys, if you've ever watched them, they're like on a swivel, and they just sit there and pivot round and round, and their eyes are so good they can catch movement. So even if you face the decoys where he's going to circle around and try to turn his head and get in front of him, he's still going to spin at some point and he's liable to see you. So offset them just a little bit if you're going to use them, and 25 to 30 yards should be a plan. Let's talk about your shotgun. You've called them, you've brought them in, they're within range, they're 25, 30 yards out in front of you, you're ready to shoot. Have you done your homework on your shotgun prior to? Do you need TSS to shoot a turkey? No. The old timers have done it for years with number 4s, number 5s, regular old lead shot. I like TSS just because I have confidence in it. I don't need it. I've shot, my first turkey I ever killed was with number 4 Federals because they pattern good out of the shotgun that I shoot. Know what shoots good in your gun. Know where the center shot is on your shotgun. If you're shooting the bead on the front of your shotgun, that does not necessarily mean that that shot is going to hit where your bead is. So learn where it's going to hit. Especially with TSS, I personally like to shoot a red dot. I've got a Sightmark red dot on mine. And the reason I like that is you shoot the gun and you put the red dot where that center of your shot is at. It's just, there's no guesswork. Since I started with the combination that I run now, I shoot Sightmark red dot, I shoot a TSS, Verdict brand TSS, and I shoot it out of my Remington pump shotgun, 870 Super Mag, 12 gauge with an Indian Creek choke. I have confidence in my setup. Since I've started shooting this setup, I've never missed a turkey. Now, this is just a trick that I've always used because TSS is super expensive. So what I like to do, practice makes perfect. Get out there, go buy you a box of regular field loads. 20, 30 yards, that gun is still accurate. Get out there and shoot that gun with field loads. They're not expensive. Practice. You got a kid and he's a little unsure, you think he's hesitant on that gun because of the recoil, things like that. They make pads and stuff for the guns, but have them shoot field loads because it's cheaper and it's effective. You could kill a turkey with the things, but again, I just do it for the practice and for sighting. What else is important that I can share with somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, has a little experience, but they want to get into it and they don't have anybody to teach them? So here's one that hardly anybody talks about, but it's hugely important. The only people that I really hear talk about this, and you watching in their videos, the Hunting Public guys, great source of information. Shadows, cover. And this is for deer, turkey, whatever. Hunt shadows. Take advantage of shadows. A turkey's eyes are incredible. So use those shadows to your advantage. Get in there, make sure your mask is up, your face mask. I always wear a face mask, always wear gloves. Tuck into the shadows. Look for a tree with a shadow coming off of it. Sit in that shadow. They have to really, really focus on you to see you. So use the shadows to your advantage. I'm telling you, it's important. Okay, we discussed a lot, and I know it's information overload, but here's a no-brainer. This is kind of basic, but use trail cameras to your advantage. Let them do the scouting for you as far as where these turkeys want to be and what time of day they like to go out and hang in fields. The first turkey that I ever killed, I killed him in the woods behind my house. One of my neighbors told me that there were turkeys back there, that he had seen them during deer season when he hunted there. And so I went back, put up the trail camera. I put the trail camera in the woods, pointed in the direction that I thought they might be coming, and sure enough, I started getting them on camera and was fortunate enough to kill that turkey in that same spot, opening day of that year. What happens during turkey season? A lot. I'll give you a hint. April showers bring May flowers. What does that mean? It rains a lot. Do turkeys come out in the rain? Yes. 100%. What I do like to do, I don't like to get wet either. So if I got to go to the truck or I got to sit at the house, hey, take that an opportunity to get you a nap in, rehydrate, get you something to drink, get you something to eat, go in and grab your lunch or something if you haven't already. But soon as that rain slacks off and it stops, you better be in the field. And I mean field, not necessarily the woods. I have had so much success after it rains just by going out and slowly creeping, running and gunning and looking at fields. And if I see them in the fields, I'll duck back in, make a big circle around, get set up, try to call to them using some of the tips that we've already talked about. But again, when it rains and it stops, specifically when it stops, get your butt to the field. They're going to be out there looking for food. If you've ever walked around the field right after it rains, especially if it's a good downpour, what do you see all over the top of the soil? You see bugs that would typically be in their little trails and stuff underneath the soil, worms, things like that. It's going to push them up to the top. After you like this video, you watch it, you take notes, you subscribe to our channel, and you like the video, everything's good, and you put what we've talked about to work, especially if you've never killed a turkey or you've been lucky once or twice, but you really want to be more successful. When you carry this stuff into the field this year, promise me that you'll come back, comment on this video, and just let us know how successful you were, and say, "I gobble gobble."